Hey everybody, Dylan Distraction here, coming to you live from Bat Atlantic Studios. Thought I'd do a quick back to the drawing board talk about comic books, show you what's on my drawing table, and do a little live unwrapping my DC subscriptions. I have subscriptions to a bunch of DC comic books, and I love the fact that they just show up like this in these little plastic bags. They come to my house very well packaged. They have this nice little Mylar bag and this little backing board. The books have always arrived in really good condition or good enough. Obviously, support your local comic shop, but if you don't have a local comic shop near you, which I really don't, this is a great option. So these are some drawings I was doing here on the light box of my hit creator-owned comic book series, Nuke Force. These drawings, I think, came out pretty good. This is me. I light-tabled, light box, the pencils and the inks. Mr. Malto, Major Grit, Claudia, Pump Station, Nuke Force, coming to Kickstarter real soon. But that's not what this video is about. I thought I'd do some unbagging. It's not really unboxing. It's a book time with Dylan Distraction. So what I like to do is just cut the tops off the bags, just like that with my razor sharp scissors. Oh man, just like a hot knife through plastic. Not really. They're pretty dull. And then, oh, what's this one? I don't even know. Let's see. We find out together. Ooh, the Batman Hush. The Batman Hush. And then what I do is I can use the bag and board and I just stick it back in there. I'm sure it's probably terrible for the comic. It says Batman Hush, all in, 158, Legacy 923, Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, Alex Sinclair. Kind of an interesting cover. In the original Batman Hush, his foot is coming at you. And that was always, I thought, a bit strange because I hadn't really seen a lot of the underside of Batman's boot before. So that original Batman Hush kind of struck me as odd looking. So this one feels much more Jim Lee with the figure coming at the viewer, leaning forward. The one thing I will say, which I think is strange, is, obviously, I'm just talking about the art. I love Jim Lee's work, and he's incredibly influential, hugely important in the history of comics, and really his Batman is beautiful. But one thing I noticed when I first saw this image released is, so this knee is bent, and so this cape is behind this knee. So this cape must be real far away, because that leg is, 4 feet back. I mean, if you think of the upper thigh is 2 feet long, and then that lower part of the knee, the below the knee from the shin to the foot, that's probably another 2.5, 3 feet down. So that means that is 4.5, 5 feet behind him, essentially. If he's 7 heads tall, that's, it's not human proportions. So that leg is quite long. It's comic book proportions. So that cape must be real far back there because that knee is in front of that cape. It's not a wrapping under it. So I just thought that was odd. And now that once I saw that, I'm like, you can't unsee it. Because this one you could imagine, okay, that leg stretches back into space and that cape is above where his foot would be. But that one is like, no, his back foot is touching that cape. Right? Anyway, just stuff I think about when I'm looking at artwork. And probably I'm overthinking it. But I don't know, just something I thought about. I was like, really, I don't know how that works, but I guess it doesn't matter. Obviously, it doesn't matter because it's awesome. And I love the gold hue that Alex Sinclair's dropping in there. Really beautiful low light, really punches off that blue really nicely. That God hue that he puts in, that God light that he tints everything with. So it's a blue, but it's tinted with a yellowish. So it's like an orange and blue, which are really nice complementary colors, I think. I don't know. I don't know color theory. Alex Sinclair does. And inks by Scott Williams, really nice inks. His normal sort of, little crosshatchy stuff, which I love. I think it looks great. I don't have the patience for it, but he's clearly defined a generation with that inking technique. The other thing that's a little odd, and this is just my own sort of thing, and I'm looking at the art. But it feels like that would be curved more and there'd be more. It just feels like, I don't know, that seems proportionally just like that. You go, oh, okay. no problem. Right? 100%. Smashed it. But then that seems like there'd be more of that. Like there'd more groin, or like that leg would be longer and that one might come down further. I don't know. It's just, it seems like he's, like that makes sense. I don't know. I love Jim Lee's work, and I just, it strikes me as an interesting image to choose, but I love it. I think it looks great. And obviously Jim Lee is a master storyteller, an incredible draftsman. And oh, you know what else I got? And you think like, oh, he's noticing some things here. Maybe he's not a huge Jim Lee fan. Maybe he doesn't buy, a lot of different Jim Lee comics. Maybe he's not someone that, is really excited about Hush. Maybe he didn't buy the oversized edition too. Well, no. I'm a fan. I also bought the larger than life version. This was $15. And man, I tell you, you really want to get in there and get some detail. Yeah, this makes it practically unreadable. It's too big, which I love. But if you think like, oh, this is the size Jim Lee is drawing this, and I guess that would mean that Scott Williams is inking it this size. I mean, this is 11 by 17. I think it's partially larger. I don't know how you could draw this big and ink this much. I mean, it's just bonkers. It looks great. It does look a little low res, but that could just be my bad eyesight, possibly. It's almost like they just took the, I'm sure that they know what they're doing. They're, professionals there, but it's like for something this big, it's just shockingly big. It's startlingly large, right? Like that's just hanging that up like a poster. So yeah, I love it. So not only did I get the giant sized one, I also bought one off the rack too. So I got two now. And not only that, but I was like, this thing's pretty cool too. What is this? Tiny little Hush ash can. Okay. So this is, I grabbed this because I'm like, I don't even remember ash cans. They made an ash can. This I love. This is tiny. Really tightens up the inks having it this small. But this, I love it in black and white. Alex Sinclair's colors are beautiful, but I love seeing the ink work. And I love seeing it without the lettering too. But yeah, no, this is just bonkers. This is, I want them to reprint it like this 11 by 17. Because this I think is just a really beautiful way to see everything. But I love the whole package. I love all of it. So yeah, Hush. But not only that, I was like, all right, I'll buy a foil one too. You got me. All right, I'm all in, as they say. I'm all in on Batman Hush 2, Jim Lee. And while I was there, I grabbed that Uncanny X-Men just to compare, right? The ink stylings of Scott Williams back in the day definitely got that sharper sort of toothy line. Not able to throw it really with these, I think he's using a lot of more microns now. So he doesn't have the same sort of sharp flick that he would have with a, still beautiful, but different, but beautiful. Different, but beautiful. That's kind of like me, different, but beautiful. So let's look at the Batman Hush 2. Really cool greens, really cool silhouettes. I wonder how much time Jim Lee has had with this. I know that he's been working on it probably for a year. But you always wonder, like, how much time does he have? The guy's probably really busy. So I often think of that sometimes, too. Where it's like, what was the deadlines like for these? Because this is... some of this is real dark. Like, this is pretty dark color. And it's, this sort of blood effect. Like, okay, that's cool. But like where these guys really, like this is a pretty dark page. But yeah, no, this isn't, I mean, I don't even know what's going on in this book. But I love it. Whatever it is, I love it. because you're like, oh, it's not that. Well, if you look at this, you're like, it's not that dark. I can tell what's going on. Yeah, but like compared to that, I mean, that's super bright. And you're like, oh yeah, no, it's definitely different. Like all these sort of hues and gradients thrown in here. A lot of blues. A lot of this sort of fuzzy rendering, right? As opposed to something with these sort of different sort of brush stroke kind of techniques here. I'm not a colorist. I don't know. Alex Sinclair is a master craftsman. Just that's great pose, great shapes. Again, I have no idea what's going on in this comic book. I haven't read it. I have 5 copies of it, but I haven't read it. It's got Hush. I'm going to read it. Probably not today, but I will read it. Yeah, like that. I mean, it's cool. I don't know. I think what it was is that when Batman was doing, I mean, when you want to talk about a bonkers looking book, this one, this Martian Manhunter book, this I got too. It might be in the stack. This is a trippy book. That one I did read, and that one gave me nightmares. Great looking book. Congratulations to everybody involved. I hope it smashes sales records. I hope millions of people buy this, and it ushers in a new era of Jim Lee inspired Batman artwork. I love that it's hand drawn, pencils, pens, paper. I love all these creators: Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, Alex Sinclair. I think this is a beautiful piece of art. I think this is a beautiful book. And even if I'm, nitpicking little things, it's like, who cares? Like, the overall quality and craftsmanship is just off the charts. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. All right. I got 12 more issues of it coming, I think. So when you sign up for a subscription, never miss an issue, go to subscriptions.dccomics.com. Here are some of the things you can get. They're through Midtown. Obviously, support your local comic shop, but I mean, come on, $30, $35, 40% off cover price. Can't beat that. Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Batman and Robin. Bunch of great books. So, buy more comics. All right, so then what I do is I stick it back in, and now we got a little backing board and yabba dabba doo. Look at that. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. On to the next one. That was one down. I thought this would take like 5 minutes. How long was I talking for? Oh, crumbs. I gotta hurry up. Hold on. Let me use my razor sharp pruning shears here. Does this not even cut? Well, no wonder the video's taking so long. The gosh darn scissors don't work. I could just tear it. Come on. Come on. I gotta go get a knife. Scissors. Sticks. Star. Alright, let's try it again. See if this works. Oh yeah, look at that. Cuts right through the drawing underneath. Cuts right through the comic book. Cuts right into the glass table. Why am I being careful with this? Oh gosh. Oh, man, I didn't cut myself. Alright. See what else we got here. Ooh, Absolute Batman number 6. Great cover, great color. Yeah, Dragota's art. This is what I'm going for. Let's just soak this in. Little tiny cars. So yeah, I've loved all of these issues. This is a obnoxious ad, but whatever. Remember when there used to be ads in comic books? This facsimile edition of X-Men 274 remembers. Remember there were ads in comic books? Like for Capcom. I want to talk about low resolution. Whew. Oof. Just straight up scans from the old comic. Remember when Double Dragon? That was such a good game. young people just don't know. 1991. I remember there's ads on comic books. So, yeah, Dracota's art's just so great. Really love everything about these books. Such a fun line. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't know what happens in this issue, but probably spoilers. Great Dark Knight Returns homage. Great lightning bolt. Great color. I think, too, what it is that the color on this feels sharper. And by that I mean, and I don't know, I'm just looking, but like, just side by side this. So, you know, obviously different poses, different, but just look at, so that, a lot of greens, a lot of, you know, a lot of green tones, a lot of gray, obviously, highlights, you know, he's doing a highlight, low light, double lighting. And then we look at this. It's just different. You know, it's just different. So this has got textures, rendering, muzzle blasts, effects off of the skin, kind of this glowy light here, highlights, low lights, highlights. But then this, not as much. Got some rendering, gray, and orange pops. That pink really pops. He's punting this evil child off of the, funny. So it's just different. I mean, it's just different techniques. You know, I don't know. I think they're both great, but they are different. But even this, which is a very dark page, there's a lot of depth to it. Not a lot of over rendering, not a lot of double light, a lot of black. Right? Not a lot of rim light, but both beautiful. I love both. Both are great. So, Absolute Batman, absolutely crushing it. Hush, too. I mean, come on. You can't complain. Look at that. It's two incredible comic books. We're 2 for 2. Let's keep going. All right, what's next? Oh, and then we got to stick it in the bag. So we do this. Stick it back in the bag. Look at that. It's bagged and boarded, kind of. 12 issues of your favorite titles, up to 45% off. All these available. DC subs at midtowncomics.com. Support your local comic shop. If you don't have a local comic shop near you, it's a pretty good deal. And this is not a commercial for this service. I just use it, and I wanted something to talk about on YouTube. So, all right, let's try to not cut myself again. Let's see what's next. How did I not cut through all that? Cut through it. Is this Dell 2? Probably because I'm not allowed to have sharp objects. Okay, here we go. All right, what's next? Ooh, Wonder Woman. Love this cover. Very odd shaped face. You know? What is that? How is that? How does that even work? Is there like, she's got like a neck brace on? Because your face wouldn't be that. That's a very pointy chin. I love it. Looks great. Great hands. I love the cartooniness of this illustrator that did the first few issues. I do not know who this illustrator is doing the interior. Yeah, I like the cartooniness of the cartoonier artist that started the series. This sort of digital painting is not my favorite. If it continues with this sort of digital painting, I probably wouldn't continue with it. I'm more of a cartoonier. I like a bold holding line, right? I like brush strokes. I like feathering and rendering. This sort of technique. I like a nice brushy holding line. I don't like this real thin, frail holding line with a lot of rendering. It feels more like a painting to me, which yeah, that's just not my thing, but I get why people like this. But again, we look at like the Dragotta Batman stuff, like, yeah, I prefer that cartoonier stuff. This is not my favorite, but great looking cover. So yeah, no, if it continues like this, I'd stop reading it. But I think this is a great book. Really enjoying the series. I like the slow burn versus the big monster in the first few issues. So hopefully it goes back to that cartoony stuff, because that's what I subscribed expecting. So the problem with the subscriptions is you pre-buying. So if like for some reason you're like, I'm not good, I don't need to get, I'm good, I'm done, it's too bad, you're getting the rest of them. So it's like, oh no, if you only want 6 of them, you're getting the next 6 because you bought 12. All right, oh yeah, there you go. All right, this is the last one in this subscription order. Let's see what we got. The last one, and it is Batman and Robin, Year 1, Chris Samnee, Mark Waid. I love the look of Samnee's art, and I love when he teams with Mark Waid. I think they have done some incredible stuff together. They did Captain America together, and obviously Daredevil together. I love Mark Waid and Samnee working together. This is what I'm into. This sort of cartoony. I love this stuff. The holding lines, the color. I'd say this is perfection for me. This sort of, this is just my favorite. So good, best for last. This one is by far my favorite. So if you were like, what's Professor Andrews going for? This. I love this stuff. I haven't read, obviously I've subscribed, so this is the 6th issue I've gotten. I hope that they just keep going. I think it's a mini. I think they're only doing 12. But man, just do this forever. This should be the Batman book. Forever. The one thing I will say is I haven't... Why does that look low res? What the heck's going on? Why would you print an ad in low resolution? That just makes no sense. We just pulled it off the internet. What could go wrong? I love the look of this. Samnee is crushing it. Mark Waid's a phenomenal writer, obviously. Just knows everything. Is a genius. I haven't read any of these issues. I will tell you that. I've looked through all of them, and I will read them. But often what I'll do is I get the book. I get the subscription. I love it. I look at it, and then I don't like to read them piecemeal. I don't like to read 5 issues, 6 issues. I want to read the whole arc. So if it's 12 issues in this series, I want to read all 12 in a weekend. So I would wait for 6, the other 6, which is just me. I mean, everybody's different, everybody's going to do it differently, but I find that works best for me. I like to read them in chunks. So I haven't read it, but I will read it. Chris Samnee, so again, to recap, Batman and Robin Year 1. That's my favorite. Wonder Woman. I've enjoyed this series. I don't enjoy the painted art as much. Not my favorite, but to each their own. I think it's good. Definitely worth whatever I paid for it. Absolute Batman, incredible. So Dragotta, awesome. Snyder, amazing. Batman Hush, really fun. Glad they're doing it. Hopefully it gets more people excited about comics, brings more people in. So these are all winners. I don't think any of these here would be, I mean, there's something for everybody, right? There's the painted stuff, Wonder Woman, great. Batman Hush, 90s throwback, love it. Absolute Batman, really pushing the boundaries of what Batman could be moving forward. Snyder, Dragotta, over the top, violent, love it. And then Batman and Robin Year 1, I mean, it feels like a vintage sort of throwback to those old Batman and Robin stories. Just so good. So I love all these books. Thank you so much, DC, for offering subscriptions like this. I thoroughly enjoyed getting books in the mail. And if you don't have a comic shop near you, check out these DC subscriptions. All right, now I'm going to peel this blue tape off all of them. I just put that on just because I felt like it. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please comment, subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends. DylanDistraction.com, MakeComicsCool.com, Dylan Andrews Art. Batlantic Store, Batlantic Studios. I have a bunch of comic books for sale, and I'll mail them to you, just like these were mailed to me. I'll mail you my comics if you'd like them. Go to batlanticstore.com. And Nuke Force, coming soon to Kickstarter. Nuke Force coming soon to Kickstarter. So keep an eye out for that. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed these videos, let me know. I could do more unbaggings like this. We could do more book time with Dylan Distraction. I have a lot of books, so if you want to check out and see some of my books, I'd love to just open them up and show you the art and tell you what I think. That's pretty much all I'm doing, is just giving you my 2 cents. So, DC subscriptions. Thank you so much, DC Comics, for making awesome comics. Okay, thanks. Bye.